This changes everything. Myself, maybe more than any other Warriors fan in the world, was very optimistic that this team was going to be very, very good for this season. But I don't even think I expected them to be this good. And I know what you're thinking. Yes, we're only one game into the regular season, a 10-point victory over the Los Angeles Lakers. But some specific things that I saw on the floor last night have a chance to be major positives for the team this season. What's going on, everybody? I'm Houston Bo. You're watching Warriors Digest. Let's hop right into some more breakdown of last night's game. Like I said, a 10-point victory over the Lakers. Luka Doncic puts up 43. For the Warriors, Steph, Johnny, Jimmy, Dre, the four best players, the four most important X factors on this team, handled business for Dub Nation last night. And before we get into everything, talking about last night's game, talking about future games here in the next couple of days, we got a matchup at home opener against the Nuggets tomorrow night. I want to remind you guys to hit that subscribe button. The easiest way for you guys to support us on the channel, the easiest way for you guys to never miss out on content right here on Warriors Digest on YouTube. So first things first, Steph Curry, the oldest guard in NBA history to score 20-plus points in a season opener. This was kind of shocking to me, I guess because it's a guard. Obviously, LeBron and other guys probably scored more from a different position standpoint. But the oldest guard in NBA history to score 20-plus points in a season opener, and Steph was fantastic. But the most important thing about Steph's performance last night was that he didn't really have to do much. Only ended up hitting 3 threes, played pretty solidly, but there was a lot of times. Also, it'd be played pretty solid, Houston, not played pretty solidly. Played pretty solid, but there were a lot of times where he sat on the bench pretty consistently throughout that second half because our second unit was playing so well. And that is going to be massive for this upcoming season because he's an old guard. Like, these are guys that are going to have restful games where we play so well that we don't even need him to play down the stretch. And that's what last night was. Ultimately, they make a little bit of run, so Steph comes back in the game, ends up hitting a dagger 3. We win the game. Night, tuck the Lakers in. Time to go to bed, right? It's amazing. But Steph, this changes everything because if we can find a way to be so consistent that Steph only has to play mid-20s to low 30s minutes of basketball per night, this team's going to be fantastic, and we're also going to be healthy heading into the postseason. Draymond Green, this isn't a fluke. People always talk about, why do people always say he's such a great defender? It's not even like it shows up in the box score that much. Well, guess what? Not only does this guy get steals, get blocks, he impacts the game on a level that no other 6'7" forward big has ever done in the league. 29% or 28% and 0% three-point shooting percentage for players guarded by Draymond Green last night. Like, this is just what he does. I don't understand why people continue to have this absolute lack of honoring who Draymond Green has been and continues to be as a basketball player. It's not flashy. He's not throwing down windmill dunks, right? He's not shooting step-back threes, but he impacts the game for this Warriors team maybe more than anybody else when he's playing well. And last night he facilitated on the offensive end fantastically, and on the defensive side of the ball, he locked down every single Lakers player that tried to contest him. This is just a fun fact moving forward for the NBA this season. The NBA will bring back the Larry O'Brien Trophy center court logo for the NBA Finals, and this is huge. As just a fan of the sport, as a fan of the game, as a fan of this league, this is so nostalgic, and this is sort of a no-brainer. It's the Finals. You don't want it like last season where the Thunder and Pacers games looked like regular season games. There was nothing to differentiate between that game and, a regular season game. So I love the fact that they're bringing the Larry O'Brien Trophy back for center court logo for the NBA Finals. That is going to be an aura-filled series when the Warriors ultimately end up in the NBA Finals this season. This is the best take that I saw last night from Tommy Gunn NBA on Twitter. This is great. Being able to put Buddy in his correct role, a bench gunner who you stick with when he gets hot, is a microcosm of how much better this roster is. Not overtasking players with outsized roles is one of the biggest signs of a good/great roster. This is so true. This is a great take. Number one, let's look at the example that he gave, Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield is a fantastic shooter, one of the greatest shooters that the world has ever seen, right? When he gets hot, he's like nobody else. He can snipe the ball in a way that very few NBA players can do or have done in NBA history. But that's pretty much what Buddy Hield is. He's an okay defender at times. He can shoot the midi a little bit. He's not that great of a slasher. Last season, Buddy Hield was forced to do a lot of things that were not his role. But now, because we can play guys like Will Richard, because we can play guys like Gary Payton, and then eventually D'Anthony Melton and Moses Moody, those guys are better defenders. They do other things better on the floor than Buddy Hield does. So we can use Buddy on the role that he was born to play. A guy who, when he's hot, we get him the ball, we keep him in the game, he stripes it from deep, okay? When he's not playing well, we sub him out, and we say, hey, buddy, it's not your night, but that's okay because other guys are impacting the game in other ways, right? And we find a way to win inside the paint as opposed to shooting it from outside. That is a massive, important note for this team for this season. We had to overtask many players last season. Quinten Post, great three-point shooter, not a great defender. He was forced to guard a lot of bigs towards the end of the year, and he really struggled. Now we have Al Horford and a fully healthy and ready to play Draymond Green. Now Quinten Post doesn't have to assume the responsibility of as much because those other guys are on the team and playing well, right? Gary Payton is a 15 to 20 minute, maybe even less than that, guy who comes in little spurts, plays really hard, slashes well, and plays solid defense and is scrappy, right? He is not a three-point shooter. He is not a give me the ball and go ISO type of guy. There were moments last season where Gary Payton was forced to do that, and I appreciate the fact that he tried to get better in those areas and wanted to be that type of player, but that's just not who Gary Payton is, right? Steph Curry, he can do everything. He's not a person that you can overtask. He's not a person that needs a correct role. Like, you know who Steph Curry is, you know who Jimmy Butler is, right? But these smaller role players, they have to fit into their role perfectly. Now that we have a roster that completely matches where these guys can be on the floor or off the floor, it's perfect. And that's why I'm so impressed with the roster that's been built by Steve, by Mike Dunleavy Jr., by Lacob, by this organization. They have put these guys in a position to win this year. And so far, we're doing just that. Brandin Podziemski has said a lot of things in this offseason and now ultimately into the beginning of the regular season. Talked a lot about how he wants the keys to the franchise to be handed to him one day. And now saying, hey, I want to be better than Steph Curry. Well, Pods, I hate to break it to you. You're basically saying that you want to have a top 5 NBA career in NBA history. But here's the thing. I love it. Why have we all of a sudden started shaming guys for having confidence? Like, I remember the days when when young guys, when they had a fire, when they had a heart to be a fantastic player, we rewarded that and we clapped it and we said, I love this guy's drive. I love this guy's, his ability to have an imagination for what his potential can be, right? But now we insult this. We see this and every single comment is saying, Pods, you're never going to be there. It's Steph Curry. Don't try to be better than him. He's not saying he wants to be better than him now. Obviously, he wants to play his role now. But when that's done, when Steph Curry's out of the league, Brandin Podziemski wants to be able to maximize his talent in the league and get as much out of it as I can. I love the fact that we have a backup point guard who wants to be the best player on the team, who wants to find everything he can about his game to improve, to get to a point where he can be the best player that he can be. Why are we hating on that? I'm certainly not. I'm proud of Pods for continuing to put in the work. His three-point shooting is getting better. His mid-range is getting better. He's still an evolving defender. So I'm impressed with him, and I understand it's a little silly maybe to say, hey, I want to be better than Steph Curry because that is a otherworldly task that you are, giving yourself. But I love the fact that he wants to be better than Steph, and I hope that we get to see at least a little glimpse of something in Brandon's game over the next decade and a half where you say, wow, Pods does that better than Steph Curry. It's not going to be a lot of things that he does better than Steph Curry in his lifetime, but hey, maybe at some point he will be that guy. Randy talked about this a little bit on the video this morning, but I just love the fact that the vibes are so high on this team right now. Jimmy's saying he's got a bet with Draymond that he will have a better free throw percentage than Steph this season. He said it's probably a bad bet, and he's right. Last night, Butler went 16 of 16, Curry went 8 of 8, so they've matched each other so far. Both 100p at the free throw strike to kick things off. And you love it. You love to see fun stuff like this happening for a team that can use all the fun they can get. Jonathan Kuminga, I want to continue to applaud his performance last night. His third quarter was fantastic, was very reminiscent of old third quarters from Warriors teams of the mid-2010s. 13 points on 5 of 5 shooting, 3 of 3 from deep, 3 rebounds, a steal, 0 turnovers, taking care of the ball. You'd love to see it. Plus 12 in just 9 minutes. Ended with 17, 8 and 5. We were up at that point, and then he ended up having even more stats to fill out the box score at that point. But what a fantastic game from Kaminga. And then lastly, this is big, just to applaud Kaminga once more. Steph's dagger at the end was huge, but it is a result of the fact that Jonathan Kuminga did something that he hasn't done for his entire career, offensively rebound the ball. In that moment, past years, right? Long shot goes up. back iron, long rebound out. Kuminga, instead of sitting in the corner, instead of sitting under the hoop, instead of going for a highlight dunk, he just goes up, rebounds the ball, gets another possession for the team, find a way to get it to Steph. He hits the dagger. That play, that highlight, that Twitter feed you're going to see does not happen if Jonathan Kuminga doesn't commit to the things he said he would commit to. He is certainly doing that so far to start the season. I'm having so much fun, and we're only one game in, folks. This is going to be one heck of a season. I've been Houston Bo. You guys have been the fans. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll catch you guys in the next one. As always, go Dubs. Peace.